Hello and welcome to Salud SA, San Antonio's premier wellness television show. I'm your host, Anastasia, and each month I'll be seeking out San Antonio's best kept wellness secrets and featuring homegrown alternative healing pioneers from our community. My hope is that this show will inspire you to expand your wellness paradigm to include options for alternative healing and lesser known wellness modalities. This month, I'll be interviewing Brian Conway, the owner of Powered by Plants, a health food company and non-alcoholic hemp-infused spirit company. I'm really excited to learn more about his company, his products, and his lifestyle, so let's dive in. Welcome, Brian. I'm so happy to have you here and to talk about all your amazing products and how you got started.
Awesome.
So let's go ahead and start there. Like, how did these two companies come into existence?
Sure, absolutely. Well, number one, thank you for having me here. It's an amazing blessing, so I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you. Overall, I've been active my entire life. Kind of say I got it from my mama. My mother was always like super active and just, she'd walk or ride her bike and just even teaching aerobic classes. So I've always just grew up being active, playing soccer, running cross country, things of that nature. Getting into personal training, which I would say about the last 20 years is really where I started earning a living from health and wellness. So from being an independent personal trainer to living in Puerto Rico doing fitness things, I was a special Kellogg special K ambassador, launched some things out there, California, Minnesota, just really trying to get people healthier as I learn. I always want to be learning as I know it's evolving, health and wellness. So how can I get better? How can I impact, our clients and customers, things of that nature. But running the personal training department for Lifetime is really one of my bigger accomplishments. And then getting into corporate wellness, also with Lifetime, I oversaw Texas, Florida, the Midwest states, getting their employees healthier. And that to me was really a game changer from my mindset. Because when you're a personal trainer, or even like a health coach, and you're trying to give that one-on-one attention, that's great. But understanding how do you impact, a larger population, and specifically people that don't go to the gym, that are not eating healthy, they may not have a good support system internally, from whether it's their family or friends and things of that nature. So did that with Lifetime. We would draw blood. We wouldn't do it, but the employees would draw the blood, and then score them on key metrics: glucose, triglycerides, cholesterol. Get their employees healthier. If they scored poorly, they'd pay more on their insurance premiums. We would develop a wellness program based upon the company's budget to get them healthier, like on-site lunch and learns, health coaching, Fitbit challenges, or even maybe
fun.
Exactly,
That's awesome.
Exactly. Even maybe just on-site services. So we would do those. Then at the end of the year, they would score again. Ideally, they're healthier, they score better, they save money on their insurance premiums. Lifetime ended up getting acquired. They dissolved our division. So at that point, I decided, maybe I should go on my own. And so I started working with smaller companies, under 1,000 employees, even under 100 employees, just to get them healthier. I knew at this point through my experience, it starts at home. The healthy habits start at home, because that's where your significant others, are living life, right? So if you're trying to impact them at work, but when they go home, if they don't have a support system, it's not going to be as beneficial. So started making recommendations for quick, easy, fast, because we're all on the go, trying to move quickly. What should I eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And as I did that, I realized, let me teach people how to make like a protein bar, something, easy, healthy snack. I'd never made a protein bar. I Googled it. I'm like, how hard can it be? It was a pain. I'm like, man, I had to melt cacao. I had to bake with almond flour. So I did the protein bar, and I put it out. But I realized, I'm never going to do this. And if I'm not going to do it, I know it's not sustainable. The average person's not going to do it. So I said, I need to make something just like a no bake, just like stick some stuff together, like some peanut butter or almond butter, and with some powder and other healthy ingredients. And keto was really was brand new at the time. Fat bombs, and so I ended up making like this like protein ball, And I let one of my good friend Nico LaHood try it, and we were working out, and it's like, Papa, it's like, man, this is it. This is really good. You should sell this. Like, you're onto something. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not a baker. It's not my background. I don't know much about cooking or anything like that. He's like, no, but you're onto something. And so his wife Davida, another amazing person, and so they were doing a Zumbathon at the YMCA here in San Antonio, and so they said, you know what, come sell it. So I went and I did that, but they were there, and I knew everybody, they knew everybody. I felt it was like a sympathy buy, right? I'm like, man, are they doing it just to be nice? Right. They don't hurt my feelings. Oh, this is really good, but really they're like that, nasty. So I said, you know what, let me see if I can get accepted to like a farmer's market. I applied for the Dallas Farmers Market, because I had spent a lot of time in Dallas and even lived there for many years, which I live now in San Antonio. But I got accepted, and my first weekend I sold out. And I was like, okay, maybe this is, maybe this is, there's something here. And so just kept on selling, and then got into some retail stores, went from eight locations to 16 to 24.
And this was just with the ball? Just
with the ball. It was called Health Bombs.
Okay.
Yep, so it was called Health Bombs. And so fast forward, about a year and a half, ended up getting into 150 locations. We were in 13 states. We had a co-packer.
I don't mean to interrupt, but so at this point, you're not making them in your kitchen anymore.
No.
Did you have helpers? Who did you find to mass produce?
Definitely. So it went through stages. I mean, gosh, I'd moved so many kitchens. Actually, my very first rental was the Maestro here in San Antonio. A good friend of mine, Willie Ning, was part of that, and he recommended me to start doing it. So I was doing hourly rentals, and then we just started getting some employees, and then it got to the point where it was more cost efficient to have my own space. And so then went over to San Antonio Food Hub, and so I got a space there, and then eventually got a co-packer here in San Antonio. And so, I mean, we had as many as, I have videos, as many as 13, 14 people in a mass production line where the facility in itself was like about 37 degrees. It's like working in a refrigerator, basically. Hairnets. I mean, you had to wear gloves. I mean, you're like layered up, but making the product. And so it was pretty cool to really see it take off. And then, unfortunately, COVID.
Right.
So COVID happens. And I just, I lost, obviously retail stores started shutting down. Our co-packers started shutting down. I had some equity partners, and then they lost funding. So really, and in some aspect, it was a blessing in disguise, because what I did is I realized, how do I improve? How do I get better? Is it COVID? I don't know how long it's going to last, but I know I can make things better. So I started working on some reformulations, going from the balls to the bars, and to make it easier to manufacture, more streamlined. And then I had made some CBD infused balls, the health bombs. So I created a separate division where we would start doing that. And what I realized was, if we can be competitive in a protein bar space, which is extremely saturated, with my background, I saw the opportunity for getting to the edible side on the medicinal, hemp infused products, where it could help alleviate pain, help be an alcohol alternative. I've worked, been a breast cancer fighter survivor health coach, and worked with a lot of diabetics. And so really, again, with my background and with actually hands-on helping, these special populations, and knowing that 75% of chronic disease is preventable through nutrition, I'm like, wow, okay, so how can I improve that? I had lost my father. I lost my father to liver cancer. And I used to drink, and so I just saw that there was really that opportunity. What really even solidified it even more was about 2.5 years ago, I did a 21-day prayer and fast, where I fasted from all animal products, and alcohol as well. And mind you, I used to hunt. If you look at my old Instagram, Apple would smoke bacon. mesquite wood, grill for fajitas and everything else. The typical San Antonio, barbacoa and everything else, And so it was a big thing. And I have to admit that we had a couple of vegan employees, and we would always give them a hard time. I would give them a hard time, just joking and everything else. So I said, you know what, 21-day prayer and fast, can I do it? For God, I'm gonna definitely I'm gonna do it. So fasted from, like I said, alcohol and all animal products, and I said, you know what, on the 22nd day when I finish, I'm gonna then treat myself. I'm gonna eat, go back to enjoying everything that I want to, and so I won't forget. I went out to a restaurant up in Dallas, one of my favorite restaurants, that I would always get, like the steak tan pequeña, queso blanco, cinco leches, not tres leches, but cinco leches, and sangria swirl frozen margarita. So I went, and I used to eat that all the time. Oh yeah, no, but I would eat that all the time, and then I could go to sleep. I would be fine, and I'm like, I'm not lactose intolerant. I'm not gluten intolerant, anything like that. So I do that. I got sick at the restaurant.
Oh, I was going to say, that sounds like a recipe for a terrible stomach ache.
It was horrible. And so when I realized how sick I got, I'm like, wow, I used to eat this all the time. And so then I just felt like, okay, well, maybe I should go back to it. So I did. And then a month later, David Goggins, who's one of the fittest men in the world, he was doing a mental health awareness fundraising event where you run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so I was like, you know what, let me see if I can do it. And I didn't train for it, and I did it.
Yeah.
So and I documented the whole thing, so everything was, out there, every single leg I was doing. I mean, you're running in the middle of the night, and it's cold and sleep deprived basically. Yeah. But not only did I do it, I said, 48 miles, awesome, but man, I'm almost to 50 miles. Let me do 2 more miles. So I did 2 more miles. And then I realized 50 miles is great. That's almost 2 marathons. Let me just do a little bit more. So I ended up doing 2 marathons in the 48 hours.
Oh my
Felt
gosh.
Great.
Wow.
Felt amazing. And so, but
your vessel was clean.
I was clean, yeah. So the recovery, I just felt great. And I watched documentaries, like one specific one, Game Changers.
Yes,
Game Changer.
Awesome.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's in there, the UFC fighters, World's Strongest Man, all these amazing athletes, even Olympic athletes, NFL players, talk about how much better they feel. They wish they would have done it sooner, and I can attest to that. I wish I would have done it sooner.
Wow.
And now, is it an easy journey? No, but nothing new is really easy for the most part. It's just you've got to learn. There's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. So that's really where I started making these products. They're all plant-based and gluten-free, and to really support that. And along that lines, that's when I had realized that the alcohol side of it is such a huge market. A lot of negative things come with it. Of course,
Sure.
From not only just the horrible sleep, drunk dialing your ex, doing all these crazy things that people do, right? Making all these bad decisions, domestic violence, all of these bad outcomes with an extreme, of course, liver disease. As I mentioned, I lost my father. But so that's really where I started realizing that there's an opportunity for that. So we came out with our non-alcoholic tequila, rum, and gin inspired CBD products. So this way we could start getting people healthier, so they can migrate from alcohol to non-alcoholic options, where they can get great sleep. I've been tracking my sleep, for the last couple of years, so I know where my resting heart rate is, REM sleep, deep sleep. Quality of sleep, things of that nature, and you don't get a hangover with this, and you just feel great. So really, that's where all of these products, they all have unique needs. We have an energy drink. It's got organic beetroot, green tea, glutamine, citrulline, 0 calories, 0 sugars, on-the-go protein bars, and then we have some infused options as well. So there's 2 separate brands.
Yeah.
We have In Good Health, where our protein bars, like Merit Coffee is a local iconic spot in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. They carry our protein bars.
Great.
And then we started getting into some restaurants and just really partnering with more local businesses to offer that mocktail, that non-alcoholic option. Which that's kind of where we are now.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love the journey. I love hearing these stories. They're so inspiring. And I just had a baby. I don't know if you know,
congrats,
but
congrats! I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah,
yes, congrats.
So I had a baby now 5 months ago, and so of course, when I was pregnant, I was I eat mostly plant-based.
Okay.
I'm about 85%. I don't buy meat to cook at home, but if I'm out, sometimes I do.
Sure.
So I was looking for protein bars because I needed a little more protein than I normally did before I was pregnant, and searching for a protein bar that didn't have a bunch of junk in it was really hard. I finally ended up going to RX bars, which were pretty clean. I mean, they had they do have egg yolk egg whites in it, so it's it's got some animal products, but otherwise very few ingredients. And I would eat those. I'd eat one every day, pretty much. And then, of course, I love a good cocktail or a good beer or whatnot. And so, but, surprisingly enough, I mean, our bodies are amazing. So when I was pregnant, I wasn't craving alcohol. I didn't necessarily want it. So I did start noticing this trend of non-alcoholic spirits out there. And these beautiful drinks that are created that look, just lovely drinks. And also just even the bigger brands of beers starting to come out with like zero alcohol. And back in my day, like the only non-alcoholic drink was O'Doul's, right? And everybody was like, don't drink O'Doul's, gross, this is the thing. And now there's so many. I'm like, this is great. But then when you can actually get a product that's infused with CBD or something, live resin that's going to help your body relax, or it's going to maybe help you sleep better, or just less anxiety or whatever. It's like, wow, that's pretty amazing. So I'm excited. So let's go ahead and talk about each of these goodies you have here and see what you got.
Definitely. So we'll start with this one. So this is our protein bar. It's almond butter, macadamia nut, cacao nib, yes, and it's just with plant-based protein. And the sweetener with this one, so this one we say it's vegan friendly because it does have honey. So depending upon where, how extreme some people take it, but but it does have Texas honey, so it's local honey as well.
Wow.
And this is probably this is our top seller, just because everybody's trying to look for protein, especially if you are plant-based. Protein can be a little bit challenging, the right protein source, things like that. They all have fiber with them as well. So that's what this one is. We then have one specifically here. This is actually a fiber bar. So same concept. It tastes like a snickerdoodle or like a churro. It's got vanilla, cinnamon, almond butter, and macadamia nut. And it has psyllium husk in it. So great way. Psyllium husk is a great fiber source just to help flush your body, which is really good. And then we have another one here, our collagen. So everybody's trying to work on their hair, skin, nails. But this is a plant-based collagen. So Sun Warrior.
I thought, because it said, vegan. Most of you said like vegan friendly or vegan. I thought this must be vegan collagen.
It is, and it is. So it's multiple of sources. So we are using Sun Warrior. Sun Warrior is a protein source that we use, very trusted protein source, and so that's who we're using. And but basically all plants is the best way to say it. And there's a multitude. There's a lot of science behind it, exactly how they pull it, how they extract it, and everything else. But so this is great for hair, skin, nails from there. And then we have this is one of our protein bars, but it is infused with some hemp. So this one is through Powered by Plants, which is our the sister company. Like I said, so In Good Health and then Powered by Plants. But this one is great just if you have some pain, if maybe you're trying to sleep. We will talk about microdosing. I guess we can just talk about it now, but microdosing is it's very important to understand exactly how much you're taking. It's always starting at a low dose to see how your body reacts, how you feel, making sure you're getting the right outcome. And I think that when it comes to to hemp or in infused products, people just take it and they don't even realize how much they took or when should they take more if it didn't work, things of that nature. So this this one as an example has 25 milligrams of Delta 8 in it. Delta 8 is really great for pain and sleep. So that's what this one is here. This could be broken up into maybe 3 pieces as an example. And then we have over here, this one is great for sleep. So this, again, all hemp derived, but it has CBN and CBD in it. So it's made with our it's like a chocolate ganache. It's really good. It's organic coconut oil, organic agave, and organic cocoa. So just 3 simple ingredients infused.
Is it a spread, or do you just?
You can do whatever. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to. This is a single pack, so we have jars so people can scoop it out. But it's like just like I said, a healthy Nutella is the best way to say it. And then we'll start over here with energy drinks. So we have a powder format. We have liquid ready to drink as well, and it's organic beetroot. Great for blood circulation. Of course, blood circulation ties into so many things. It's interesting. You hear about all of these erectile dysfunction. I guess programs, and they always talk about blood flow. Blood flow. Well, that is a huge thing. Blood flow. So just for all the guys out there, get some beetroot. I'm not saying you have to do this, but beetroot will help you blood flow, and obviously it just can help with your hair, just anything growing. It's going to definitely help. So 0 calories, 0 sugars. I take this as a pre-workout. I do about a scoop with a little bit of water, and that's my pre-workout, and it's just amazing. And 0 calories, like I said, 0 sugars. And then these are just some of our spirits as an example. So this one's our rum. Believe it or not, we actually sold out of our gin. And this is the last. We sold out of our rum, but we are. I managed to have one rum still left for a prop, and then and this is like our tequila. So these spirits, what's great about these spirits are they can basically be made with any cocktail. So anything. So it's tequila inspired or rum inspired, gin inspired, not alcoholic, and you can just add a little bit depending on what type of outcome you want. But it has all of the whole hemp plant. So when it says CBD, and I'll just explain on that, there's a lot of different types of products out there, but CBD specifically, you have CBD isolate, which is just that part of the plant, just CBD, no THC, no terpenes, no other supporting cannabinoids. Then you have broad spectrum CBD, which broad spectrum CBD is, for the most part, everything but minus the little bit of the THC. Again, this is all through the U.S. Farm Bill, so it's the legal amount, which is no more than 3%. And then there's full spectrum CBD. Full spectrum CBD has basically everything in it, but the process, typically it gets dried out, and it's not extracted. It's not processed when it's in its freshest state. So ours are live resin. So now live resin is, as soon as it's harvested, it's immediately processed, so you're getting the freshest state. So if you pulled an orange, off the tree, off the branch, and you ate it right then there, it's going to taste amazing. Versus eating it, several months down the road, and then how is it, maybe if that orange juice squeezed, when is it squeezed? Is it squeezed, 2 months later? It's not going to be as flavorful, so you're not going to get as strong of an effect, because it's already basically started fading or diluting in a nutshell. So these are really good. 1 ounce is 45 milligrams of the live resin CBD. So it has all of these amazing profiles, taste in it, but it relaxes you. So it's very heavy on the body. I say heavy meaning it's very, it's almost like getting a massage. Like you just, I just feel good. And so when you think of all of the people that drink alcohol that want to kind of take the edge off, especially after work, they just want to decompress. But really, yes, they feel it, but then of course, it's calories. It's going to lead into elevated heart rate. They're not going to get good sleep. They're going to elevate their cortisol levels, adrenal glands. They're not going to have well rest. They may sleep for 12 hours. They may be passed out, but it's shallow sleep. And the reason why we know this, because like I said, I track it through the Whoop, which is a wearable device. Even for the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, the MVP for the Chiefs, he actually wears it. So he even wore it on the Super Bowl. That when he played the Super Bowl, he even wore the device. So it's a very legitimate source, and so you can see how your sleep is tracked through alcohol and through these types of products, which is really good. You wake up, you feeling refreshed, you feel good, you don't make any bad decisions. Very excited for this.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh, you're totally selling me on it. I'm really excited to try them. So the tequila gin, rum. Do they taste any bit like tequila? Or so like if I wanted to make a margarita, I'm just going to use this in place of the tequila.
Absolutely.
Or a
Yep,
rum or I don't even know any rum drinks.
Like a mojito.
Okay, yes,
A Cuba
mojito.
Libre. There we
Yes,
go. Yep.
yes.
Yeah, so what's cool about this is what we recommend is whatever the recipe calls for of alcohol, you would use half the amount. So if the recipe for the, say, margarita calls for 1 ounce of tequila, you would use half an ounce of ours. Now, number one, you don't need that much because you actually, again, it does give you an effect. You do feel it.
Yeah.
So again, we want to microdose. We don't want to start off too strong. So that's really more of our recommendation. You could even go a quarter of alcohol if you want to. The other supporting thing with that is it doesn't impact the taste as much. Because of course, if you add more of an ingredient, that ingredient's going to have a more robust profile, or it may trump the other ingredients that you put in the drink.
Yeah.
So when you do a little bit, number one, you don't need that much, and it doesn't affect the taste so much that you're expecting to taste.
Fantastic. So then these bottles are going to last you longer too.
Correct.
Than a bottle.
Absolutely.
Of,
yeah. So this could probably like one bottle. It's 25 ounces. One bottle could basically make about 50 to 75 margaritas.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. Well, this is amazing. I'm so excited. I just love. I mean, this is. I cook a little bit too. Well, I cook a lot actually, but I'm not a baker. So when you were talking about the process of making something easy to bake and the fat bombs, I've been there and working with alternative flours and stuff. It's like everything is different when you're working with or gluten-free or whatever
it changes everything.
It changes the whole chemistry
everything
of it.
everything
And most of it I don't have time for it, so that I'm glad there's products like this that exist and are on the market because it makes my life so much easier.
Sure.
Okay, so before we wrap up, where can people find you? Where can they get these amazing products?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are, like I said, based in San Antonio. Online is probably the best way to go. But Shop Powered by Plants is our website.
All right, so I'm really excited to try these bars. And I wanted to tell you, too, that I'm really happy that you don't use monk fruit to sweeten things because monk fruit always tastes bitter to me. And I've noticed that's kind of a trend in
because the thing of it, when you get the average monk fruit bag, monk fruit is not the main ingredient. It's like either a xylitol or it's another ingredient. So that's why. And so it's very little of actual monk fruit.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So, well, I'm going to try this snickerdoodle tasting one. This is the fiber.
Yep.
Fiber bar. Oh, it's very soft.
Yep.
And moist. I'm just going to tear it.
Like a churro, a snickerdoodle type taste.
That's really good. It's really good, you guys. It's like lightly sweet. I can taste the nuts and it's really good.
So that's almond butter, macadamia nut, cinnamon, vanilla, honey, psyllium husk. Yeah. It's a simple ingredients. I mean, you'll be able to recognize the ingredients just like so your body can recognize the ingredients.
The collagen one now. This one has chocolate.
Yep.
This one is chocolate.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm not a huge chocolate eater. I'm more on the sugary side when I look at things. So I'm going to try this one too. This one's a little more firm.
Yep. Kind of like a chocolate chip cookie. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's really good. And it's very creamy too. It's like crunchy and creamy.
Well, then the protein one is probably the more moist one too, because that's the one that has our chocolate ganache in it. So that's So it's a little bit on this moisture side.
These are delicious, really, and I get full pretty quickly. So I could see myself. I would eat half actually. I mean, just one in the morning and then a little bit in the afternoon or before I go work.
And they're all under 200 calories. All of them are under.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. Yum. Thank you so much, Brian.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that you came and that you shared these delicious products with us. And I can't wait to see what happens next.
Awesome. Me either. We'll see what God has in plan.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.